Welcome to Buyers Bootcamp. I'm your host. My name is Realtor Megan Holly. I've been in business for past 16 years, and I've worked in residential resale, pre-construction, and some commercial. I've worked hard to strengthen my skills so you can relax during your transaction, and whether it's your first time buying a house, selling, or renting for your investment or any investment. My objective is to ease this process as much as possible so your buying journey can be done with peace of mind. I take pride in building a long-lasting relationships, and I also wanted to make sure that your journey is enjoyable, educational, and satisfactory. You have worked hard for your money, and you're putting your trust in me with your lifetime biggest investment. And I take pride to do this job with integrity, honesty, and leveraging results as much as possible so your dream comes into reality. And together we can achieve beyond expectations and receive a common goal. I understand as a first-time home buyer, you may be skeptical how to move on and take charge of a monthly mortgage payment. Buying a home is a crucial step in everybody's life. Making sure that you're financially 100% ready to buy a house at any time is a good time as long as it financially makes sense. And my commitment to you is to make sure, as a preliminary step, I encourage my client to always imagine that goal of home ownership, write it down, plan it, execute it, and call me, and I will make that dream into reality so you can live it. If you think you're 100% ready and it's any time is the right time, just call and hire a reliable real estate agent that can ease this process. Buying a home is basically begins with three simple steps. The first step begins with you, that you're 100% committed with knowledge and confidence, and you get in touch with me. I believe the only obstacle in achieving our goal is that our self-doubt, believing is half of the journey or half of the equation. Majority of Canadians believe that currently we are in recessions. Unfortunately, that is the circle of life. The boom and bust makes the economy of this world go around since 1920. The economy has been up and down, especially in 2008 that occurred in US and in Canada. It's basically entirely different ball game. The actual fact stands firm that immigrations, especially 1 million immigration annually, drives our economy and boosts the GDP, while it lowers the standard of living. And Canada is different to your country in the world that always welcomes new immigrant, and major factor that drives the immigration to our country is the global war that plays a factor in our economical growth. Considering that Canada has a lot of land, oil, metal, and lumber, as long as we have an open heart, open mind, and stay positive to the problems or the crisis that we face, we can conquer anything, and we are able to overcome it with peace of mind. I understand that the enormous amount of basically immigrations or the population growth has caused the cost of living in our nation. It's basically overwhelmed by the vast, not only in Canada, I think globally we all face a repeat growth of living, an affordability. Basically, as an experienced real estate agent, my job is to make sure that you understand the economical growth drives these escalations. And as long as we work hard at it, these forces will just be fixed by itself naturally, or the legislation has to take place to fix it. As a brief overview, past decade, in 2010, a 2-bedroom, 2-bath basically cost, below 2,000, but now in 2024, 14 years later, it costs roughly 3,000 plus. And, considering the fact that you have to pay somebody else's mortgage, why not buy, yourself? And like I said before, the growth of population is the major factor that basically drives us to move on, with this repeat growth. We're basically short on supply. To navigate your purchase like a professional, basically, we have to understand the full scope of supply and demand. Although Canada is geographically blessed with a lot of green, prosperous, and natural resources land, the labor market is very strong, and especially Canada in G7 try to cool off these conditions, and they basically hold the interest rate they hold it off until further announcement. And the way that we can cool this off, in my honest opinion, is, if it's not done the right way, basically naturally will happen. In my honest opinion, the growth of population, especially in Greater Toronto area, have driven the price of housing, followed by lack of assessment from our federal and provincial governments, which is long overdue. And a rebound or correction can be basically happening by force of nature or by, proper step taken to our superiors. I know as a first-time home buyer, lots of my clients, they're basically holding off and saying, maybe the market will crash. The real truth stands firm that real estate price never dropped in the last decade. It will not drop recently as well. It will just be a slight, basically cooling off. Canada Housing Action Plan is also focused to build home faster and meet housing crisis. Canada Housing and Mortgage Corporations also oversees to ensure housing market remains stabilized. In my honest opinion, no single measure will be taken to solve this, crisis. We have seen inflation getting cooled off a little bit. The labor force is really strong, and the immigration flow, I think, majorly contributes to this. The housing market can rebound as long as our government basically builds more community housing and be a gateway to finance smaller home faster and strengthen cooperative housing, as well as crack down on non-compliance short-term rentals and support first-time home buyer and investors who are interested in the country. So to basically summarize it, your buying journey, I put it into a funnel that initially, as a first-time home buyer, you need to be, once you contact me and fill up the intake form and discuss your conditions, I wanted to make sure that you're aware of how much you can afford per monthly. And once you weigh your options and narrow down your choices to evaluate them, and you're 100% sure, what it makes sense for you to move on and purchase a place, find you that perfect home that you can call dream home. And, we close the deal, give you the key and celebrate. So like I said before, as a first-time home buyer, the first step begins with you. As long as, you have a good credit and save that down payment for your purchase, you're ready. Just fill up the intake form and contact me, and I'll be able to walk you through it. Building a credit is an essential part of achieving your financial stability or your purchase. Basically, there are three major companies in North America and US, which is basically Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. They use a beacon score as the graph that you see on the screen. A beacon score or credit report basically begins from minimum of 300 and it ends at 900 beacon score. Anything that is below 680, once you pull your credit report from these three providers, don't bother, to contact me just to work on your credit report. Once that is above 680, reach out to me and I'll be able to help you. In order to establish a good credit report, the steps to take is simple. Basically, you just need one or two credit cards. Make sure all your payments are pre-authorized and you're keeping on top of that, making timely payment, making timely payment and making sure that, you're not overspending. Also, keeping your balances low, monitor your credit report regularly, at least once a year, and diversify your credit mix. And also further than that, if you have bad credit, avoid applying for multiple companies. And further than that, if you have really bad credit, you can have a secure credit card. I understand building a credit is crucial, and it may take some time, but just be patient and that can be done. The scope of buying basically or building a credit is that if your credit risk is low, the lender will lend you. If your risk is high, the lender will hold off and not lend you any money. Credit repair takes time. Once you pull your credit report, review all the aspect of it. And once you understand that there's some discrepancies, you can contact the credit providers and in writing by email or by call. The dispute process may take 1 to 3 months or as far as 6 to 12 months. Further than that, because of recently changes that occurred in the global, market, a real estate board also decided to remove the word customer from basically from our spectrum of helping clients. So we can only work with people who are dedicated with that real estate agent, and that is elaborated or described further in buyer information guide. When I meet you in person, I will basically explain everything to you truly. But for now, as a general rule of thumb, I just like to let you know, if you are considering to work with a real estate agent will be able to represent your best interests, guide you through the offer, closing, moving, and any other professional services. If you're planning to go solo, the real estate agent will not encourage you to represent or discourage you to work with any of the real estate transaction that you're making, and you basically have sole obligation of your own, and they have no real legal obligations to serve you. If you're planning to go solo, be cautious. There are a lot of options that can cause you a lot of headache. A home can be stigmatized, haunted. It could be a grow-up homes. It could have a crack in the foundation, setback issue, mold in the house, property line issue with the neighbors. There could be a leak in the appliances, ventilation problem, plumbing issue. Further than that, there could be structural issue. They may have a bad tenant and have no appliances. Further, there may be some infestation of termite in the house. Therefore, I strongly encourage you to use the expertise of a real estate agent and protect and secure your lifetime investment. And realtors are here to help you navigate the complexity of your home purchase. The buying journey basically begins the minute you started, that you think you're 100% ready to hire a real estate agent. When you contact me, I encourage you to give me a copy of your job letter, 2 to 3 copy of your pay stub, a bank statement that shows the proof of the deposit, last 2 years of notice of assessment, and a copy of your government ID. Once I meet you in person and qualified you for the mortgage loan, we began to find that dream home for you and put an offer. Basically, during competing offer, we will have, after our price accepted, I want to make sure I and basically explain all the conditions for you. You will have 5 banking days for home inspections to inspect the condition of the house, and 5 banking days to basically waive the financing. After 5 banking days that is done, we waive the condition and the house is yours. We wait for duration of 30 to 90 days to get the keys. Prior getting your keys, you are able to go one more time, visit the house again, purchase a title insurance, meet with your lawyer, basically buy also home insurance for your house, pay all the balances that is due, receive your keys, and celebrate. As overall, basically, I don't want to take much of your time. I put 3 example, I apologize, type of homes that a first-time home buyer can afford. Initially, if you're planning to buy a 2-bedroom, 2-bath for a small family, if the purchase price is $500,000, as a first-time home buyer, you're able to put down as low as $25,000 down. And your closing cost comes down to 13,195. You're looking at 3,044 mortgage payment. In addition to that, you will also have property tax that may be roughly around $200 to $300 per month, and also condo fees, which that will be depending on what type of condo you purchase. The second type of dwelling they have chosen is for a mid-family, a medium family, a small family basically that can afford a 3-bedroom, 2-bath townhouse. Purchase with a purchase price of 800,000. Like I said, the 5% down payment will qualify you for will be 55,000 because your purchase is over $500,000, so it will be a little bit more than exact 5%. Closing costs and lawyer fee and home inspection all comes down to 20,059. Your monthly mortgage payment will be 4,600 with utility and property tax of 1,500. You're looking at roughly about 6,200 per month. Further than that, with a bigger family that can afford to purchase a 4-bedroom, 4-bath with a price tag of 1.3 million, you would require, a down payment that is 260,000. Your legal fee, inspection fee, lawyer fee, and closing costs all will come down to 27,675. Your monthly mortgage at the rate of 5.5% interest rate is 6,298. Utility and property taxes approximately will be 1,500, and you're looking roughly about 7,800 monthly mortgage payment. Like I said before, this is just a brief overview. That number can be varied based on each individual credit and also down payment. So that's basically, don't tag me on that. It's basically just a brief overview of what you will expect generally. My goal is basically before you plan to purchase something, don't go to the bank and basically take a pen and paper, calculate your down payment and your monthly affordability. Once you reach out to me, I will make sure that, I get you qualified that the mortgage loan. Once we get you approved for the mortgage, please don't apply for a new credit card or shop around with multiple lenders to get the best interest rate. You're not doing yourself anything good because basically you're hurting your credit, and at the end it will hurt you. Also, don't quit your job. Do not overspend. Make sure you pay your bills until your closing is done and stay on budget. Once it's close to your closing, a week before, make sure that you have all the your down payment. We will meet with the lawyer a week or 2 weeks prior or 2 days prior. Make sure we make the payment, purchase home insurance and title insurance, and all the utility bills are transferred properly for you, and then that way you receive your key and celebrate. Further than that, as a first-time home buyer, it can be confusing. I just wanted to let you know to be aware of. If you are if you're planning to purchase a new constructed home, new construction homes also do have its ins and outs. Basically, should you walk into a developer or builder's office, my strong suggestion is don't do that. Contact your agent. You would basically don't know what that terms of contract involves. A realtor basically can negotiate the best terms and condition for you. Also, you don't know what carry-on warranty involves, what the cooling off period is, if your purchase price include the customization you have in mind, and also the uncertainty of closing time. We want to make sure we work with a reputable builder. Further than that, if you are walking into an open house, the agent at the open house job is to just sell that house. Their job is not to take care of your best interests. Only work with your agent royally, and that agent will be loyal to you. And together, you will achieve your goal faster and get at the optimum result. Further than that, if you see a sign for sale by owner, be aware of that. If the for sale by owner is trying to cut the real estate agent short on the commission, they may not do the best for you as well. There could be some defect in the house that is not visible to your eyes. So I strongly recommend to work with your agent to prevent legal fees and hefty costs. When it comes to negotiations and competing offer, we as an agent, we have your best interest in mind for getting the right price, financing and inspection and closing terms, and also educating you about full disclosure or limited disclosure. A purchase basically involved in the involvement is a lot because you are buying something along buying a land along with it is responsibilities. So I put it into a chart analysis, which I call it SWOT analysis, considered the location. SWOT stands especially for strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. The strength of your purchase is location, feature, affordability, investment potential. Weaknesses is structural issue, location, downsizing, affordability challenges, and market risk. Threat includes financing risk, environmental hazard, and zoning issue. And opportunity could be the value-added improvements that can bring rental potentials, and also the market condition can change in your favor. When you purchase a house, anytime is a good time to buy. Like I said, if some people hold off on their purchase by now, they may regret it because back in 1980, similar detached home cost $165,000 with 30% interest rate. It is the price basically cost them $3,000. But unfortunately, if people are new and now they wanted to buy a similar dwelling, in 2020, similar home cost 1.5 with 4% interest or 5.5% interest rate. The mortgage basically comes to 4,500. Considering that, this beautiful world has a lot of beautiful places that we can visit and call it home. In San Francisco, similar dwelling costs $750,000. In Brazil, it costs $165,000. In Australia, it costs 1.1. In South Africa, 900,000. And Spain, 2.5 million. And Indonesia, 2 billion or 130,000 US. Canadian, I apologize. Like I said before, when you meet me, I wanted to make sure that you are qualified that for that mortgage. Please bring along your job letter, proof of down payment, last 2 to 3 months of pay stub, along with your 2 years notice of assessment and a copy of your credit report. Once we get you approved, the process is as easy as 1, 2, 3. We will get you qualified for the loan, find you that perfect home, and get the closing done smoothly. Further than that, as a first-time home buyer, you're all qualified to get 5% down payment. Down payment, that 5% can apply to resale or existing home, and also it can apply to mobile and manufactured home. In addition to that, as a first-time home buyer, you're also qualified to receive a rebate of property tax. If your purchase is $368,000 plus, you will qualify for maximum rebate of $4,000 on the purchase. Further than that, you want to know how a lender qualify you for the mortgage amount. Basically, if your housing costs shouldn't exceed 39% of your gross income, that includes basically mortgage, principal, interest, taxes, heating expense, and half of your condo fee. And if you're considering to go ahead with your purchase, they also calculate your debit. Anything that you'll own on your car or on your loans, it shouldn't exceed 44%. That's called to prevent risk on your purchase. When you buy a house, basically, there are 2 types of insurance that you need to, or 3 types of insurance that you need to buy. And the first one is basically plain home insurance, just like car insurance. Second is what is a title insurance. A title insurance is basically purchased. It's a mandatory basically purchase by home buyers at the time of the closing that basically protects the buyer against any losses that is on, as long as the buyer remains on title. The premium is paid by the buyer at the time of the closing, and also it protects the lender basically against the mortgage that they have on the title. And there are some limitations. With a Terion warranty basically regulates the new home builder and also Ontario New Home Warranty Plan Act that basically offered in terms of 1, 2, and 7 years. The cap for condo is $300,000. The cap for condo is the deposit protection for condo is $20,000. The cap for freehold is $400,000, and the deposit protection is $100,000. And the premium is paid by the builder to Terion. Lastly, once we get you qualified, and prepare you for your financing. We'll find you the perfect home. We'll make an offer, negotiate the best term, close, and you're 100% ready to go. And I also wanted to bring this up. Once you are ready to purchase your house, when you meet me, I wanted you to come and meet me. We'll bring along a checklist that are what must have and must wants, and what are the deal maker and deal breaker on your purchase. And please come along with your decision maker. Further than that, if you are closing on your at the time of the closing, you notify your landlord 60 days prior to your move. And if your closing is on August 30th and you're moving, I apologize, closing is on August 31st, you're moving on September 1st, your mortgage will be due on October 1st because mortgage interest rate occurs in arrears. Lastly, there are a lot of options available out there to search a home. Please stick into one because you're not doing yourself or your agent any good. We live in an information generation era. As a buyer, we are offered a broad spectrum of options with shiny object. Basically, it gets us easily distracted and makes the process longer, basically. You can use my website. I strongly recommend you to stick into one. And by doing that, basically you're staying consistent. You can customize the website better, protect your privacy being sold to a third party. You're learning the feature and benefit of that website. And that way you are getting an efficient service in return. Lastly, when it's your closing time, as if you are getting a mortgage loan, please bring your 2 pieces of ID along with your deposit and purchase a title insurance and home insurance. But if you're paying by cash, basically, you make sure you sign the FinTrack, we get you your keys and get all your documentation, and you celebrate and enjoy. Thank you so much for your time. Book a consult with me, and if you're 100% ready, let's discuss all the preferences, budget, and goals in a personalized consultation. And with our expertise in personalized service and our commitment to excellence, we look forward to guiding you through a seamless and rewarding real estate experience. Let's turn the dream into reality together. Book a consult, fill out the intake form, and I'll come along with your decision maker, along with your checklist of must have and must wants. We'll connect with our affiliate colleagues, get you qualified, secure that beautiful place that you can call home, and then we'll celebrate. Congratulations by taking this time towards your finding your dream home. With our expertise in personalized service, dedications to your needs, we ensure that we find you that perfect home that you call home. Let's work together and make this home ownership dream a reality. Reach out to us, and thank you so much for your time.